What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Back in Bama with Corey, all about Bama football news, updates, and more via AL.com. Kalen Deboer, Ryan Grubb know Alabama's run game is broken. Here's how they're going to fix it. Follow along with me, guys, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time as usual. Alabama football's run game last season was abysmal, atrocious, embarrassing for a program that spent so many years as one of the top rushing teams in the sport. The Crimson Tide ranked 123rd out of 136 in the Football Bowl subdivision in rushing offense. University of Alabama ran for 3.35 yards per carry and 104.1 yards per game. In spring football, which Alabama started on Sunday, fixing that issue is a priority. It was one of the first things head coach Kalen Deboer brought up Tuesday when asked what needed to improve about the Alabama program. Execution. When it comes to up front and being able to run the football, Deboer said, I don't think there's any secret about that. We've got to do a better job there. That's going to open up the rest of our offense. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment for Alabama last season came in the SEC championship game. The Crimson Tide finished the game 3 yards in the negative for its rushing total. The rest of Alabama's offense could make up for the lack of run game at times last season. But that game, the Bulldogs kept Ty Simpson and company in check, crushing the Tide 28-7. Now, the University of Alabama's rushing woes continued in the college football playoff. Alabama only managed 23 yards on the ground against Indiana, with Simpson, who missed most of the second half with a rib injury, leading the team in that category with 17 yards. Alabama lost that game 38-3, ending its 2025 season. The Crimson Tide made changes in the offseason, bringing in new offensive line coach Adrian Clem to take over for Chris Kapilovic. Now, as Alabama looks to fill 4 open starting spots, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb said Thursday that the run game had to improve. Physicality and consistency, I think, are the 2 staples we have to see, Grubb said when asked what he was looking for from the offensive line during spring football. Guys being able to execute the game plan and understand the importance of running the ball. I think that fundamental belief begins in the spring. Just guys understanding that this has to be part of our DNA, especially when you have a younger quarterback. Hit that subscribe button and give me a roll tide. I think you saw some of that obviously at the end of the season last year and with Ty, where we could have helped him out more, taken more off of his plate, if we could effectively run the ball a little bit more. So this year, that's obviously a big focus. Now, Grubb was also asked if, upon further review, he wished that he had called more run plays throughout the 2025 season. He said, I wouldn't limit bad calls to the run game. Grubb said, there's plenty of good calls to make out there. Yes, certainly we go through every aspect of the game plan where you can run the ball more, where those hits happen when you did right or wrong in the red zone. Yeah, absolutely. That has to be a part of it. The reality is you look at it and you're that poor at running the football. Obviously, you got to put a lot of attention back into that and see what's the reasons. How much of it is personnel? How much of it is scheme? And then own the losses and get better at it. Now, Alabama will have a new starting running back in addition to several new starters on the offensive line this season. Jam Miller is off to the NFL with depth pieces Richard Young and Dre Washington also gone. Grubb praised true freshman E.J. Crowell's potential and noted that the rest of the group, including returning players Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere, was clicking early in the spring. I think there's a really competitive room, Grubb said. I look at the guys that have been there, Daniel and Kevin, that have been, just even their preparation and their mindset right now is really different. I mean, just Daniel looks great. He's hovering in the lows, 230 pounds. Last year at this time, he was probably in the 250s, and he just looks quicker, more powerful. And Kevin's got another step to him right now. So I think that the competition in the room with those guys and AKA Deer is really the whole room has gotten better. Alabama will continue spring practice Friday in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide will close spring ball April 11th with the A-game scrimmage at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Guys, what's your thoughts about Kalen Deboer and Ryan Grubb fixated on the running game? But it all got to come together behind Adrian Clem's offensive line. Guys, you leave a comment. And as always, thanks for the pull-up. Remember, back in Bama with Corey, all about Bama football. Subscribe to Back in Bama with Corey, all about Bama football. Turn on all notifications and hit that like button.